Do you ever feel like manifestation is just another thing on your to-do list that you don't have time for? Like your spiritual practice is something that you have to do? Honestly, you're not alone because I felt that way too. Something that's really changed my relationship with manifestation is blending it into my lifestyle so that no matter what I'm doing, I'm also manifesting. I call this manifestation as a lifestyle, and it's single handedly made the entire manifestation journey more enjoyable for me. And I've seen my desires show up with a lot more ease. Manifesting as a lifestyle has made manifestation go from feeling like a task to something I just naturally do because it's who I am. If you'd like to learn more about this, I've created a step by step guide for you. I'll link it in my show notes so you can check it out.
Hey, love, welcome to Affirm It Express, the mini series within the podcast that's all about giving you a quick spiritual boost. In each episode, I'll share affirmations or a quick tip to help you stay in your best energy. So let's get to the good stuff and affirm it together. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Affirm It Express. I am so excited for this episode because this has been a theme that I've noticed a lot in my own life, but also in the life of many friends and a lot of you in my DMs, in my client coaching calls. I have seen this theme come up a lot. And this is being hurt by someone you cared about, someone you love, and requiring forgiveness and forgiving someone. I think is so hard. It's so much easier said than done. So I absolutely get it. If you're feeling hurt or you're feeling betrayed or disappointed or sad, and you want someone to apologize, you're craving that apology or you need that apology, and maybe you can't force it, or maybe you have received it, but you still don't feel much better, or you don't think you'll ever receive it. How do we move past that? And that is through forgiveness. Forgiveness, I think, is such a medicine. It is so healing, not only for us, but for everybody involved in the situation. Even if they have no idea, even if they are quote unquote in the wrong, even if they are the ones who made a mistake, there is so much beauty in forgiving. And what's really helped me on my forgiveness journey is dropping expectations from my relationships, dropping expectations through just accepting them for who they are and knowing that not everybody has to show up or make decisions in the same exact way that I would. Because I think that's what creates a lot of hurt and disappointment is we would have handled the situation very differently, and it's so hard for us to fathom. So I have 3 affirmations for you, and they are not only just giving the other person the benefit of the doubt, it will make you feel seen. So hear me out. I know this is a heavy, hard topic, especially if you need it right now. So I'm right there with you. The first affirmation is, I acknowledge that I'm hurt, but I also acknowledge that I'm allowed to forgive them. This is inspired by, I think in forgiveness work, it can feel very frustrating because we feel like we're not being seen, but it's okay for you to be hurt. You're allowed to be hurt. But even if you're hurt, you're also allowed to forgive. The next one is, I am capable of releasing expectations from my relationships. This is what I touched on earlier, where when we have too many expectations, it can really lead to disappointment very quickly. And this is not to say that people can't live up to your expectations or your standards. I think there's a difference between having standards and having expectations. I think standards is a very different way of looking at how you want to be treated. I think standards is also another mask for expectations. But ultimately, I think the way to distinguish between a standard and an expectation is realizing that no one owes you anything. And so if you allow yourself to not show up in a relationship expecting something fully in return, I think that's how you know if it's a standard or an expectation. I think a standard is you deserve to be treated with respect. An expectation is respect equals them texting me back within 5 minutes or them saying sorry if they mess up. I understand that I would also love every single person in my life who's hurt me to apologize. But some of the closest people in my life have never apologized to me, and I still love them and I have forgiven them because maybe for them that wasn't even on their radar. And I think an expectation versus a standard, I think standards are like civil, basic human respect. And I think expectations start to come with, they need to be communicated because everyone has a different way of dealing with it. And the last affirmation is, I take my power back through forgiveness. Because when we're holding hurt, we're holding resentment, we're holding anger, we are giving our power back a lot. So that's what this one's inspired by. So let's do some affirmations together. I acknowledge that I'm hurt, but I also acknowledge that I'm allowed to forgive. I release any expectations from my relationships. I take my power back through forgiveness. I acknowledge that I'm hurt, but I also acknowledge that I'm allowed to forgive. I release any expectations from my relationships. And I take my power back through forgiveness. And that is all I have for you. I hope this episode is helpful. And if you haven't already, be sure to listen to this week's full podcast. It came out on Tuesday about forgiveness, if this is something you're really working on right now. So I hope this helps you, and I will see you next week. Bye.